Okay, I thought I would show some slideshows here of the truck that Continental 427 cubic inch motor that I was rebuilding goes into. This is a 1950 148 Brockway. Uh, it's a 1950 Brockway, a 148W, excuse me. And here we're up in Harrisville loading it up on the trailer. A buddy of mine's helping me chain it down. And we bought it. It was kind of I mean, everything was there. There was doors, the fenders, the hood, and everything. We had, but I think a lot of the parts were robbed for another truck from somebody. So this is a wooden frame cab, and there's my lovely wife telling me that, oh, this one's loose. No, I'm just kidding. Um, so we're gonna get it all loaded up, and there's another shot of the side of it, which I think you've already seen. And we don't know what's coming up next here. Let's see, get this up out of the way. So I got it back in the shop, and I was going to start to take it apart. And it was quite a project to get this thing apart. I had just had carpal tunnel surgery, and so I started yanking it apart. And here I'm pulling the cab off. Just going to use the backhoe like it's a crane, and then gonna set it off to the side. And I put some boards through the windshield and then through the door openings to kind of help pick it up, because like I say, it's a wooden frame cab and it was a little on the shaky side. The cab was. So, and you'll see some pictures of that later, and some of the components that I used to rebuild it. So another shot of the cab. I'm gonna roll it back into the garage here very soon, and still had the steering wheel on it and stuff, and the fuel tank. There's odd shaped fuel tanks. They both had holes in them. I'm going to see if I can repair them. Here I'm starting to pull the frame apart. This was a riveted frame, so I had to cut and drill all the rivets out, which was quite a process. Separated every component right down to the bare frame rails. Um, and all the cross members, all the little brackets. It was a fire truck, so it had a chrome radiator shroud, which is in pretty good shape, as you can see here by the picture, and it still is. I don't have the radiator cap, but I'll find one. Here's the corner of the roof of the cab. I was taking that picture so I could see how the trim held on there, and that sheet metal roof is actually nailed on to the cab. So I had to pull each nail out, and then I was able to lift the sheet metal off the top. And that's, the framework that was underneath. There was fabric over it and stuff. Some of the frame components, that I sandblasted and etch primed. These just had the etch primer on it. The next shot here is the frame rails. They were all sandblasted, etch primed, and then high build primer was put on them, and got them up on the sawhorses there. Starting to get it back together. I'm putting it together with bolts. This frame was riveted, and I did buy a pneumatic riveter and a pneumatic bucking bar, and I had planned on riveting this thing back together and taking the bolts out. They're all 9/16 bolts and 9/16 rivets. My $1 million brake shoes. I had these relined, and the reason I call them the $1 million brake shoes is because they cost me $200 each shoe, and there was four of them. So it was $800 to have those shoes relined. Doing some of the wood work. These are the hardest components on the wood frame to make. They were the pillar posts, the front ones where the doors bolt to with the hinges. They have some compound angles to them. I did use white ash. These are just kind of roughed out right now. I used white ash, went up to Adirondack Hardwoods in Lake George, New York, and picked up the white ash. That's what Brockway originally used on their wooden frames, and to cut all the components out. I didn't have a whole bunch of complex woodworking tools. I used basically what they probably used back in the day, dado blades. This is a frame that I made for the cab to assemble it on in the shop at my house, because that's where my woodworking tools are. And I can roll it around. Here I'm making the two main boards for the bottom of that the whole frame is mounted to, that it sits on. And there I'm starting to mock up and screw and glue together the rear of the cab on the frame, of course. And there it is, pretty much mocked up with the old roof components on, but I ended up making all new roof components for that. The pillar posts are done, as you can see. I had to redo the doors. This is, being glued and screwed together. I did use the felt on the things when I reskinned them with the original skin. These pieces here were the corner windows for the cab. I had to have those made because they're pretty rusted near where the cab was. And I believe the final one here is where they were just held in place. And so if you enjoyed this video, hit the like, subscribe. You want to comment down below and share it if you know of somebody that might have enjoyed it. And I appreciate you watching. If you notice the roof on there, it does have the new boards that I made for the roof. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And have a great day.